Hey guys and gals, boys and girls. I used to say tubers of the U, and everyone would always go, what the hell does that mean? So I stopped saying it. Now I say boys and girls, guys and gals, writers, authors, editors. Welcome in. Tim Knox here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. This is the program where we talk about all things writing, authoring, publishing, marketing, all of those little fun words, anything to do with writing your own book, getting it edited, getting it published. It's a good thing I don't do videos on how to talk. Anyway, that's what we talk about here. Writing, editing, finding an agent, self-publishing, marketing, you name it, we talk about it. The goal as always is to make you a better writer. And hopefully I can help do that. I've had some moderate success at it. So yeah, hey, don't forget, if you are interested in this topic, do me a favor, click the subscribe button below. You'll see a little bell icon when you do. If you click that, YouTube, out of the goodness of its heart, will notify you each time I release a new video. And God forbid you miss this, because it is an entertainment value. So in this series, I have been talking about primarily to first-time writers, but it applies really to everybody, is how to write a book. Call it 30 steps, and we're probably on step 4 or 5. I have lost count. I've got my notes here, but I vary from them so often it's just not even funny. I think last time we talked about doing research, making sure you were familiar with the marketplace, because every book that is there in your genre is a competitor. That book, that author is competing for that reader's eyeballs and pocketbook. So it's very important that you do the research so you know what's going on in the marketplace as far as who's reading what. I want to press this just a little further in this video, and I want to talk about specifically who you are writing for. Call it the reader demographic, if you will, because it's so important that you decide who it is. Who do you want holding your book? Who are you writing this for? Because that is really going to affect the writing. It's going to determine how you approach things in the book. It's going to determine the words you use. It's going to determine the graphic nature. You know, for example, if you are writing a novel for young adults, you are not going to want to fill it full of curse words and graphic, gratuitous violence. You've got to really think about your own kids if you have kids. If you're writing a book that you think is going to be aimed at 12-year-olds, would you want your kid to read what you're writing? If not, you don't need to write it, or you need to change that market. I've seen this happen. I do a lot of coaching with authors who will come to me with a manuscript that they believe is written for one market or one genre, and then after I read it, I realize it's not really meant for that genre. Maybe this is not a book for 12-year-olds. Maybe this is more of a young adult. There we go, 14, 15, 16. And I've had that happen quite a bit because writers, number one, they really don't know their audience as clearly and as well as they should. That's one thing I spend a lot of my coaching time is helping writers really define that audience and come up with that reader demographic. And that simply means the age, could be the sex. Some people write for girls, some people write for boys. It could even be race, creed, color, all of that. All of those demographic points come into play when you're writing a book. And that's why it's so important you do the research and you know who your reader is. What I always have my coaching clients do is I have them create an avatar. A profile of their model reader, right down to the name, eye color, hair color, sex, the whole thing, because the more you know about your reader, the easier it is for you as an author to write a book that is directed at them. I see so many books that come out in one genre when very clearly they should be in another. And that's usually to the author's detriment. You don't sell as many books if you miss the mark. Even miscategorizing your book in the Amazon marketplace can be death for a book. I had this happen to one of my clients. He had written it was a book. It was somewhat hard to define. It was kind of a historical mystery, but there was some romance thrown in and there was some fantasy, and he really didn't know where to categorize the book, and he just dumped it in the romance because in his mind that's primarily the historical romance, and the book just died on the vine. It sank like a rock. And so when we backed up and we looked at it, and I had him create the avatar for his book, again, that is the profile reader, his model reader, excuse me, he discovered that he had not written a historical romance at all. It was more of a fantasy sci-fi, and we recategorized that, and the book did very well. So as you are writing this book, even before you write this book, do the research, look at the marketplace, and look at your demographic. Create that avatar of your model reader, and then write for that reader. Okay? Hey, I appreciate your time. If you have questions or comments, I'd love to see them. Please drop them below. And if I use a question or comment in a future video, I will shoot you a digital copy of one of my books, either Sins of the Father or Angel of Mercy. And love to hear what you have to say, because by gosh, I know I'm not the end-all be-all. Opinions are like belly buttons. Everybody has one. Mine is just bigger than most. Okay, that's going to do it, guys. Subscribe, ring my bell, leave me a comment, and go on, get writing. Hopefully together, you and I can make you a better writer. Okay, have a great day. I'll see you next time.